So in this video, we are going to continue with Adobe Firefly. Last time I made another video in which I was trying the beta version of the text to image, and it was basically a starting point. And in this video, we are going to go deeper into that, and I'm gonna show you some additional tests I did, what worked out, what didn't work, and I will do a summary of a few things that I find out. So in the end, some findings. And please let me specify that this is the beta version of Adobe Firefly, which means that it's not the final version that will be available when they launch the official product. So the assumption is that the actual product, when it's launched, will be improved and it will be better. So whatever I'm saying today is related to the beta version. Let's get started. So I'm going to start with the pro aspect of Adobe Firefly. Basically, for landscapes is beautiful. So it works very well, and these apply to different type of landscape. It can be mountains, can be the beach, can be a lot of things. Hills, for example. And usually when you're typing the word landscape and you put the specific type of landscape, it actually works very well. And in this example, you can see that it even applied the adjective colorful. So it adds more colors to the landscape. So this is something that works depending on the application you want to use. For example, if you want to use it for a cover on a YouTube channel, for a video, or something else. Same apply for architecture. It works very well. So even here I add colorful there, and it generated some images of buildings. And I also specify that the style has to be modern, and there should be a material which is glass for windows. And as you can see here, all for the images, so 4 out of 4 has a glass, well, multiple glass materials, and they're all colorful. Now, what I experience is that when you stick with the fewer words, sometimes it works, some other times it needs more descriptions in the text. However, the more adjectives you have, the less is the probability that all of them will be included in all the 4 images. So there will be some sort of decisions of which kind of word has more weight. For example, I try something like a very long sentence with a lot of adjectives, and the images were not colorful anymore. So the latest adjectives were basically more important. I don't know with which logic that happened, but that is the result I got. And okay, this, as I am a fan of cats, this got me very started to explore everything, including breeds. And in here, basically, I type the same text, but changing the breed of the cat. And as you can see, it's able to pick up very well some breeds from cats. And I'm pretty sure it will do the same for dogs. Okay, some cons. Contro is in Italian. As I said before, the more adjectives, or anyway words, descriptive words you had in the text, then there would be, as a side effect, that not everything would be included. So on the example on the right, you can see that colorful is not anymore that much priority. This is an issue. Not sure, maybe it's not really an issue, but there is a criteria behind this. So if you notice that at some point you're going to lose some attributes in your photos, maybe you have to reduce the sentence and make it more focused on what you want exactly. Then, I'm not sure why, but it doesn't represent well famous cities. So I tried Melbourne, and it seems that it reconstructs some buildings that looks alike to the one in Melbourne. For example, the one at the top left is similar to Flinders Street Station, but it's not exactly that building. And the overall style of the buildings kind of resemble the style of the buildings there, but it's not exactly that city. So you cannot say, okay, these photos are from Melbourne. Probably there is a reason behind that, maybe privacy, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, in case you want to represent a specific city, basically you can't. And this applies also for other buildings. Yes, cities and buildings. For example, I try Paris, and as you can see here, the urban style is very similar, but it's not exactly that city. Same for Rome, same from San Francisco, and same for Venice. Then another key aspect is that representing people is very challenging and is, as you can see here, you can get sometimes right result, sometimes wrong results. These are just examples of the wrong ones. And here basically it has problem with the face itself and sometimes even with the body. Plus, sometimes there are some glitches. For example, on the top right, one person is very high and is unrealistic. And sometimes, in some cases, not always, probably it's the minority of cases, it is switched the body. So you might have something like the front and then the legs are from the back. I'm not sure why this is happening, but it has some problems understanding the posture, basically. And also there is another issue that is the realism in eyes. These are for cats, but it applies the same for humans. Basically, if you look at those photos, it seems that something is off with the eyes. They are not realistic. So probably it works best if you want to have an image with a lot of things that are not basically with a lot of zoom. These are zoom images. They are zooming on a subject. So you can catch the eyes very well and you can catch details that are wrong in the face. But if you have something like a city skyline, a landscape, or a city crowded with people, but you're not able to see the face of the people, then it works a little bit better. Again, there are glitches. For example, in here, the head was not very well placed on the head. In here, the cat has 3 legs, frontal legs. And here, I mentioned these already. There is something wrong with the height of a person, plus the other person next to him is, well, wrong. It has 2 heads and the legs are wrong. And here with the kittens, one face is wrong, basically. And here is one tip, actually. So you have to explicitly indicate the verbs. Otherwise, it will just place an object randomly in the picture. For example, here initially I was trying to see a Bombay cat with a Parisian hat of basically in the 60s, with the style in the 60s, with a baguette. You have to obviously say that the cat is grabbing the baguette, otherwise it will, I mean, it's smart enough to add the baguettes there, but of course you're not basically explicitly saying where this baguette should be. So it is, you have to explicitly mention a verb there to understand the relationship between the object and the person or subject that is actually using that object. So these were a few things that I tried. It's not 100% comprehensive, but these are things that I noticed. And now we'll show you some other examples that I tried, and in some cases I like very much. Okay, so let's go ahead and try some more prompts. Okay, we have to select text to image here, and now let's see. For example, I'm I don't know, a professional graphic designer, and I have to create a logo, basically, and I want some ideas. I don't know. So I'm going to type a logo for a, say, biotech company named I don't know. Atomic. Atomic chemist. Just pop out of my head. I don't know if it exists, and if it exists, I hope. Let me Google it 1 second. Atomic chemist. Okay, good. Nobody can sue me. Okay, anyway, that was just an idea. Maybe it will exist after this video, but yeah. So this atomic chemist is based in California. Let's see what it generates. I'm curious. And by default it's set to art, but we have to switch to photo after the first generation. Actually, no, art. I'm sorry. It's art. So let's see what we have here. So some text is wrong, which is interesting. Atomist. Allototium. What is this? Radiumkünste. This is sad, deeply sad. But yeah, as you can see here, there are some issues with the text. And let's see at the logo itself. This seems very vaguely from far away a radioactive logo. I'm not sure if this is a brain, a balloon, or your liver. But okay. This one, I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, let's see if we can change this. Not a biotech company, but health care. See if we change anything. Maybe we can change the name to something shorter. California is useless. We can remove it. And also here, okay, the name is an issue. Healthcare is not represented very well. Let's remove this one. And let's try another name. Let's put something random. Doesn't make any sense at all. And let's see if anything changes. So we are getting worse. Okay. So it seems to detect an alphabet, and I don't know if it does exist. So in some cases it's not doing well. Let's try something completely different. Solar energy company named Calypso. Calypsake. And also here, let me see if this thing exists. No, good. Yeah, a logo for example. Logo with sun. I say let's be explicit. Maybe there is a sun in this logo now. So let's create some directives for the software. Okay, now it's getting better. So you have to explicitly indicate what do you want in the logo as a symbol. We have the sun, so good. And I mean, we are getting closer with the text. So Calypseki seems weak. And this one is kind of similar. So we're getting there, and this doesn't have text. So yeah, it's okay-ish, not too much. Let's see graphic. Maybe change something with graphic, maybe. It's kind of better, but still same issues. So the sun is there, the text sometimes good, sometimes not. but you can definitely get some idea nevertheless. So landscape works well. So let's switch to photo. And let's pick up something else. A chalet in the mountains in Switzerland, sunny day. Okay, this, as I say, this works pretty well. So the landscape is very good. And as you can see, it catches everything. Now you can guess that the landscape is kind of in Switzerland. Now let's try industrial design. So I'm an industrial designer and I want some ideas for a product. So an industrial design product. Well, okay, no, I type too soon. Design rendering of I don't know what it generated now, but okay, rendering of a let's say lamp product with orange and yellow. Modern style. So let's see. So I want a lamp orange and yellow with a modern style. So, well, I don't know if it is feasible to actually basically create this, but definitely is actually better for industrial design than compared to logo. So there are some nice shapes that you can have ideas from, let's say a starting point. So that's, I would say, for industrial design, yeah, it's interesting, it can be used. Of course, you cannot create exactly the same thing because in the software right now, at least in the beta, it says that it cannot use for commercial use, but maybe the license will change later on. Now we try interior design. So modern living room with a large couch, missing a space, couch, floor lamp, an artistic painting, sunlight, beams, comfortable and relaxing. Okay, pretty good. So even for interior design, it actually works pretty well. So we have the light beams, natural light, we have the couch, we have the painting, we have the floor lamp. For architecture, we already saw in the slide, so it works pretty well for architecture. And let's see, packaging. So a box of bread with with a text bread and the logo of baguette, box full of bread, let's say, full of bread with a text on it. And the logo of a baguette in the packaging. Say okay, let's frame it better. Packaging that has the text bread and the logo of a baguette. Let's see. breed. Okay, we clearly have problems with text. So we do have bread, so that's good. The food is represented correctly. But it clearly struggled with text. I indicated explicitly bread, and here we have breed. Now bread, that's fine. Bread. Bread, okay. So 2 results have the right text and 2 have the wrong text. I'm not sure. These should be fairly easy enough. And yes, the logo is of a baguette. So that's good. But the text is, it doesn't represent text even if you write it down explicitly. And then, let's see, I want to represent a diagram. Technical diagram of Cartesian axis with parabola in English, but I don't remember. With, I don't know, epsilon uguale x alla seconda power 2. Where is the character here? No. Okay. And 2. Will it work? I have no idea. We clearly have problems here. Okay, this is totally wrong. With a function with the function. With, maybe is how I structure the sentence. Let's see, I will give it another shot. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. This doesn't work. But anyway, I have a few more prompts that we can check out that I tried. I have a list somewhere here. Let's say automotive. I had a few prompts. So I had this one that I already tried, and we can try it again. So I want to represent industry, a factory with cars and people working on the cars. So this worked out pretty well. Again, problem with faces, but it is futuristic and it's even interesting. This body is wrong. This guy has a very small head, like Super Mario movie. But overall, the background is nice and the style is very nice. Will these cars work? No, they won't be. It's not realistic, but it is a nice picture. Then I try a modern sport car with beautiful design. Again, these to reinforce, these are more examples to reinforce what I already said before. So faces are not represented well. Here, luxury, it is represented, so they use kind of leather for the interior design, but I mean, we have some details that are not realistic. However, it's a pretty good result. Another thing that I try is to represent basically brands, but it doesn't work with brands. I guess for the same reasons why it doesn't work with the CD names. So in this case, I wanted to represent an Audi-like car with light blue and silver color, transparent glass, neon glass, natural background, blue sky, and sunny. So it, you might say, yeah, it kind of looks like an Audi, but not that much. And the colors are right. So it gets right the colors and the background. The only thing is that here there is a glass. What is this? We don't know. And also here there is something weird. So there are some glitches sometimes. And I also try racing car, Australian Open. And again, Australian Open has the same problem of the basically the name of the city. So this is just another example. So they put the flag here, which is interesting. Half of the flag, not even the full flag. And the stars are not even like this. But okay. But it kind of looks like a Formula 1-ish. kind of. Yeah, but again, this is because the sentence is small, I guess. Then I try other things like breeds, and always the same. It is very similar to what I already mentioned before. So a ragdoll cat with a black suit, cowboy hat, business office in background, smiling, United States. So this is kind of ragdoll. The other ones are not. So one result out of 4 is the right breed. But the overall picture is right. So we have the American flag in background, the suit, the tie is elegant, and it has a cowboy hat. And yeah, so other things I say about the eyes. So if we type something like adorable kittens in a gondola in Venice, we will have some mixed results. And if it is a zoom on the kittens, the eyes are weird. This looks like 80s. There was a cartoon with someone with this, I don't know, this is the equivalent Elvis Presley of the cats, I guess. But yeah, eyes are weird. You can see this face is wrong. It's even different colors. And here eyes are weird. Eyes are weird, but you can guess that it's Venice. This is a boat inside a boat, a Matryoshka boat in Venice. But yeah, so this is just to reinforce the previous slides. So let me know what you tried. Before we go, I wanted actually to show you some results that I did for cats. This was pretty cool. This is a futuristic cat, basically a kitten with a kind of a virtual reality headset, blue sky, sunbeams, and motion capture suite. That is not, probably the software doesn't know what motion capture is, but it added a color that is futuristic and is on a hoverboard, kind of. Another thing was this one, similar result with different adjectives, and this one as well. So I would say for covers of videos, it works very well. And this was a cat with a spacesuit on Mars. For work, it is still missing a gap. So it clearly, for being adopted for work environments in companies, we need more work on this software right now, or at least I didn't find much. And if you have tried something different, what I tried, you put it in a comment just to share information about that. It can be used though for ideas. You can get ideas, design ideas on industrial design, graphic design. Landscape, it works, but I'm not sure I can find any business use case apart from covers. Maybe a journalist can use it in the future if the license allow to have previews of images, since it's often a question of IP. If you catch a photo of a real person, you need the rights, you need the permission of that person to be photographed. And for landscape, it's similar. So maybe it can be used for images in online newspapers, maybe, I guess. That's my guess. But yeah, what I thought is mainly this. So for landscape, for architecture ideas, industrial design ideas, design in general, and art, can be used for art ideas. Of course, that is possible for paintings or anyway graphic design, but for actual, say for example, photo shooting of real people, we are not there yet because of the faces of the people. So it's not accurate enough to represent the faces well. So even if you want to create an image of a scientist in a lab with the proper dressing and smiling and with a product, we are far away right now. Maybe with the official product, not the beta, this will improve. But right now we are not there. And for cars, again, we saw you can have ideas of new design of cars, but of course it doesn't take into account how much feasible it is to actually make it into production. Probably it's just a random generation of images. So it has a huge database with a lot of cars, and it tries to reconstruct one, but sometimes it misses the right place to put things. So maybe what it generates is not feasible to be created in a factory and to be sold as a car. But generally it can be used for design ideas, even here, of course. But yeah, so these are the takes, these are my takes, and feel free to add comments here, and I will publish more videos on Adobe Firefly, not only text to image, but also other things. So that's it. See you.